the wind, trying to hide it behind a surface. So you gotta let me know if the sound is good. I want to avoid the microphone having any issues. Just 1 second. Here we go. Okay. Well, you gotta let me know if it works well. Let's see. Trying to access the chat. Okay, now I can see it. Hello, how are you, Miro? I'm doing well. How are you doing? Can you hear me properly? Okay, I can hear myself. It's not ideal. Okay, let me just put it this way. Okay, what about now? Can you read Cyrillic? Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, I can read Cyrillic. Yeah, I can. Turn the camera a little bit. Still want to have a main focus on this painting. Okay. All right. Well, as you can see, this part is getting quite a good progress. From this point, I can even improvise a little bit, like I don't need the necessary reference. I will need it for the body, but I'm still gonna do a little bit of work on the hair. So yeah, let's try to get that done. Good to see you. Thank you. Well, I have to go. Good night. Yeah, it's fine. Good night. Okay, let me just unpack my stuff, get some water. Of course, I have napkins. I don't want to wait for it. It's the liquid, but I've been haven't used it much lately. I've been using just pretty much the paint only, without dissolving any colors. I think we have black and white here, so okay, let's apply black basically and the white palette. Black on this one, because I bought the new one. With the oil paint, you want to space all the paint you have from this tube. So sometimes it might look that there is nothing left, but then you have to fold it literally, get everything out of it. White was smart, and once again, it was a smart decision to buy a big white paint, the bigger one. Here, try to remove the paint. It's good. Get here. It goes down actually for now. Brushes. I will keep few brushes that I need. The umbrella brush, the little square brush, and there's a tiny one that I barely used. I don't think I even, no, I used it constantly. But I will need it for some touches. Let me show you. So it's sweet. Okay, so hello chat guys. Peter Young cannot wait. Well, has to a little bit. Okay, so this week was a Lunar New Year in, I guess, entire Asia, Southeast Asia. So a lot of places were closed. Gym as well. I did a little bit of basically footwork training and coordination and some combos, shadow boxing. Today, I think the gym is open. That's 100%. But I think the sparring is also going to be there. So let's see. Um, Again, working in the southpaw. Looking forward to do that. I also trained certain combinations. I think I kind of got more into groove of it. Really want to try more of the freestyle footwork as well, and just coordinate it, that way. And yeah, there are definitely things I want to try. So I hope there are sparrings later on today. Okay, okay, let's go. I don't have a reference, but that's okay. I'll just improvise because I have a blueprint for the hair, pretty much a blueprint for everything. And I remember approximately how it was. So right now I can just start cleaning up the lines. I don't need to do anything else pretty much for now. Just make it look clean and good. Create transitions, work on the beard and hair especially. So um, gonna need wet wipes for sure. Someone says good art. Really good. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. I really do appreciate it. Uh, One thing I want to do is to create a little transition here on this shadow. Use this brush. Then inside. Yeah, that's better. Uh, well, here we have strokes. Basically, I already used this brush basically to create the general hair strokes. I think I'm gonna do the same. Just apply a little bit of darker shadows in some parts where I kind of need it to be. Here, for example. And then I'm gonna start using small brush, literally like a single stroke approach on the layers that I already done. Here I'm gonna use because those layers are already dry-ish. Might feel like it's a little bit scratching upon the surface, but it's okay. brush on it, and that's for just for the shadows. In the hair, you never have like a one tone unless it's very straight hair. So usually it's especially with curly mix. Let's have darker, lighter hairs. Nice work, thank you. Just scratching on the surface. A little bit here. You're my favorite Greek artist. I don't know where that came from. I'm Georgian. I don't think I have any Greek blood. Or you mean like a this looks like a little bit of Greco-Roman sculpture? Though it's a Paul Reed, and that's actually the reference. The it's direct picture from his reference, the portrait, like taken on one of his fights. And yeah, he really has very interesting look. For new folks, that's trolling a little bit in chat and stuff like that. I'm married. My husband is he either gonna appear in the chat soon or he's gonna come up here. So yeah, I'm married. My right shoulder feels like weird. Okay, let's go. Let's brush. It's very thin brush. I was thinner ones too, but I'll use this one. So what I'm gonna do here now, I'm gonna start using hair strips. Let's start. I go darker because I can. I'm gonna apply wider strokes. I'm gonna apply lighter strokes and move it later. Identify some darker gaps and determine the direction of the hair to those light single strokes. So here it's going to be darker, here it's going to be lighter. Then this is where the hair splits. So, oop, it touched it. This is where the hair splits. Could have done it once while the layer was still a little bit wet, but it's okay. You can always apply more on top. Right now it looks a little bit it's like I'm scratching the surface, but that's okay. Because those are not the main strokes anyways. This still is just to create the texture. Some people are desperate, yes, and I wish they wouldn't. That's not good for them in the first place. So now we're following the strokes, the shape that I already created, and having the little punches with the lighter parts. So you see it creates some more popped out lighter hair. Also make sure that because yeah, he has longer hair than he has a beard, but they're like this is not like a very long hair. They're like a, it has to be some uncertainties. Always about the ear, it's darker, especially the way the light is falling right now on the ear. Like darker strokes. We're gonna add up some lighter ones too. No issue with this. I already like how it starts using the little curls. If it goes straight, it's gonna create a very singular texture. Hello, hello. Space in chat, not yet. So I kind of do that off the reference now, but I already applied the blueprint that I needed. Doesn't have to be too like here. I can improvise a little bit with hair and actually make it look good for um, make it look good for the painting. Sometimes you get off the blueprint you have just to make it exactly work the way you want. About the transition. Yeah. That's a way to go too dark. those little transitions with the small brush is quite a satisfying process. Just not get carried away because it's pretty much done well. It's about just cleaning it up a little bit. I think you're gonna start noticing that those shadows in transition, like even here, for example, next to the beard. So it's important to make sure that it doesn't blend in too much, but the shadow is not very dark either. So we're just making sure that smooth shadow transitions are looks good on the painting. With a small brush, it's a very nice, enjoying process, very delicate process to just blend it in. This. Right now, this. Again, if you want a safer transition, try to slow down the stroke. Sometimes you can go too fast and it just like the friction works against the canvas. So there is not enough time for camera to catch up. If you slow down the strokes, it's gonna you're gonna be able to apply paint more evenly. Sometimes I tend to rush myself, so it's really natural. So I don't know what it means, but stoicismo, yes, it has to do a lot with stoicism. What is Chris doing? Is he training? He's training with me, but he used to be a base jumper and skydiver, so he was more of the extreme sports. Really nice. Now evening the lines here with a small brush again, so the ear really stands out. And taking the dark one as well. To make sure it's blurry. Gentle, slow stroke. Okay. Let's see how it looks on camera. It already looks better. This part is more um, shaped, but like this part, we also need to make sure that we have a little bit of texture. tattoos. Well, here it is, my tattoo. You can see the tattoo on my neck, I guess. Gingers don't have souls. Well, let's believe it. Yes. Here, I wanna. Darken this. The reason why I stand up now because I need to see it in the proper lighting. The oil paints can reflect sometimes too much. It's not the best thing to capture. Hello, hello. Oh, go ahead. Okay, I'm gonna clean this brush properly and I'm gonna start applying whites. Just plain white paint. the way you express yourself through art. Thank you. I really do. It's one of the ways. Kind of like how the lights apply, but then I'm gonna blend them in a little bit, so it doesn't get too white. In the picture, it's quite all whitened up right here, but sometimes, as I said, when you see how it agrees with the painting, not the picture, reference picture. And I make, like, even though I go same direction, then I also change the strokes a little bit because there are like some curls here, and I just wanna. So some lines are more straightforward and they reflect together. Some hair strokes are just off the grid. Chaotic hairs popping off the group of the hair, total hair. Okay, we'll just look at it. Yeah, it's getting interesting. And I can take this brush, and what I'm gonna do, make sure that it's clean. To back, just in a couple spots. Yeah, like this. Sometimes this here, the what do you call that? The hair on the brush comes out. That can happen. So let's make sure that take those extra. In the worst case, you need to buy a new brush. But that's very common thing with the thick ones. This is an awesome painting. Thank you. I'll continue using the same. Basically, with the white paint right now, I'm just kind of making curls. Paul Reed is originally ginger, so in the black and white version, his hair has to reflect quite this light tone. Like in the where the hair splits, it always like comes up into a little bit of with wavy shape, right? That's what we try to do without thinning the shadow, right? So we're just gonna apply the white right about like sure it's solid. There are cleaner techniques for it, but again, it's my second painting, especially live and in the oil paints. I haven't painted with the oils for many years, but also I never done black and white like this. I've done black and white with charcoal and pencil, more like pure graphics, but not with an oil. So for me, it's also kind of like getting reintroduced to the technique, and I just like imperfect techniques because, like, let me show you quickly. I can just show you like this. See, you go closer. It's not like the most delicate, maybe. I mean, it's quite delicate, but once you zoom out, you see the effect that it gives. This painting, the first blood, is a little bit different. It's like it's the bigger, more zoomed in. But also, you see chaotic strokes. Like here is like dot technique. Here is like to make that dirty metallic texture. I literally just you know used a very so you can see imperfections, but once you zoom out, well, to me, that's the art. That's the style I like. Here, I'm still trying to clean, obviously, because it's a real person. I want it to give a realistic vibe, but at the same time, there's nothing wrong to having it so-called imperfect. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. Experiment, try things. You want to try hyperrealism? Sure, why not? Just do it. But not everything has to be hyper realistic. It's about the outcome, like how it ends up. Okay. Yeah, I continue. Those little hairs kind of popping out the camera. That's one of the I really like that. And now here we have a little bit of interest in the baby part. So there, I'm not just going chaotic. I'm kind of under strokes. It's like groups of hair, like little groups of hair that are logged in together. And as much as I apply the shadows, now I'm gonna apply the highlights to it. Make sure that creates that little curly hair effect. You probably wonder the roosters are making that sound, but it's not. It's like almost 1 p.m. here, so it's I guess at least here in Vietnam, it's a myth that they started only in the morning, kind of cold, pretty much all the time. same time, try to not by accident. Don't make it too pale. Like now, it's creates a good light hair texture, but there are darker parts for a reason, right? So yeah, just be careful with it. Will there be Sunday karaoke? I think Sunday will be, but today it's a Saturday here in Vietnam, so today there's going to be a lot of games and Winter Olympics translated on the screens. So yeah, we called off the karaoke, which is good for me because I can train and focus on the sparrings. I think there's sparring training today. I hope after the break, after the TED. Yeah, I hope there's sparring training today, like usually. I love it. I'm an artist too. Abstract paintings and build my own canvas. Oh, that's good. That's great. Artists are more than welcome here. Just look at it from the side for a second. Oh yeah, I love how its hair part. It's getting quite interesting. Darkening up some parts because yeah, use a little bit darker paint again to smooth out certain areas. But other than that, yeah, a lot of like work. Because the light comes from behind as well. So pretty much this part also on the edge right here, it also gets completely highlighted and creates beautiful contrast with the black background and the border, the hair comparing to the background. I see like that, for example, here I want to darken it up a little bit. So again, with the same effect, right in between, adding some dark, darker strokes as well. of the like of the certain direction of the hair, we add some chaotic because that's how it was originally on the picture because it was right after the fight. This Paul's hair is quite chaotic in this spot, so yes, we follow a certain grid, but then we also add some shorter random highlights showcasing the hair, just a little bit of chaotic direction of the hair strokes. It's quite satisfying process. Let me tell you. Yeah. Even on the shadow, we add just very light. We add up very light transitions like this. Adding in this part as well. This brush kind of falling apart, like hair, other hair is coming off it, but it's actually good because I use while it's still up there, I use that hair to create a realistic like white thin hairs highlights there too. It's very satisfying process. And adding a couple shorter curls too. As the hair here goes longer. However, again, it's not thin hairs like this. Okay. We got the Valkyrie and the Ultimate Giga Chat. Well, Paul Reed is definitely Giga Chat. You can check his Instagram on the this live stream description. And the Valkyrie, I mean, I think alongside of strong men, there should be a strong women and like a real strong women. Um, the ones they're feminine, having that the divine motherly nurturing energy, but can pick a sword if it's needed, if there is a calling and if duty calls. If you think about some of the stronger cultures and military cultures, both men, obviously men were on the front lines, but women were also called for being fit, healthy, uh, you know, to be able to support the society. So everyone had their roles, and no one had time to be fragile. That's I think that's gonna translate a lot into my art. Like I like that's kind of what I have to say to the world. And I'm definitely adding it into my art, that message of vibe. Some place lighter reflections, so more white paint there, and some places it's just very gentle strokes. Well, let me take a step aside and look at it. Okay, it's getting quite interesting. Well, the thing is, some parts are even like the lighter. Like, for example, the strong in the reference and like just according the laws of physics, like comes from here. This front part is completely light up, so we can apply a little bit more paint, create like a transition to more concentrated here. Not too much, but be careful with that so it doesn't become a stain. Here I remember was like light and this part was like too. Sometimes you can go off the grid a little bit, nothing wrong with that either. So like I have this little hair hanging and I literally just use it to have those little strokes to create little tails on his head. Well, at this point I can leave it for like this for a while. Let's leave it like this for a while. We can transit to the beard. Now you see there is quite a big contrast between the hair and the beard. So it almost feels like the hair is a little bit too screaming. But now we're gonna try to even out by adding those whites to the beard as well. Because there's some parts like here, it is completely light up. This is like full similar as this. It almost feels like a white stain. So that's why we're gonna a little bit more. Let's leave it for now. It's no need to. We can always add up more, so it's just important to stay focused. Hello, hello. Just curious, how long it take? I mean, it's still taking. And well, let's say I do streams like 2 to 3 hours, and I paint, let's say one and a half to 2 3 hours out of those live streams. Um, it's I think it's about 15 hours already. And I take this very like this one very gradually, especially this part. I think when I transit to the body, it's gonna be faster process because there I'm gonna have to apply skin. There's gonna be some body hair, obviously nipples, but it's not that much detail work as it's on the hair and the beard, capturing this part. So yeah, basically what I'm saying is I'm just gonna process from this part, this point on, gonna go faster, and then another layer of the black we will need to even out that part, and it's pretty much gonna be ready, which is very interesting to see. Ohio, USA, greetings to you as well. Well, that's not my husband, but my husband is very handsome. That's true. It's kind of muted. Um, well, like that's the thing. The problem with this microphone is that I mean, right now it is with the wind. Like I'm just trying to cover it from the wind, so I kind of put it a little bit lower. And well, how is it now? How is the sound now? You did draw that, yeah. I painted close. I'm in Vietnam, the trunk. Okay. So So now we're gonna do the same. We're gonna just to make it safe. We're gonna start from the lighter parts, which is this part. Just beware that uh, the strokes on the beard mostly gonna be shorter, so not as long as on the hair. Okay. Now approximately remember how it's on the reference. However, again, I'm not gonna always try to stick to the reference. I'm gonna try to just make it look good and translate the vibe that it has. Okay. So here we go. So let's this is the darker parts need to be careful here as well. Okay, like this part's gonna be quite important. So now let's kind of pops out even from the beard. They really pops out. So I'm gonna start going like in longer strokes like this, just to those hair, the ones that are popping up. Capture those first, and then I'm gonna go more with this lighter spot. But you also need to find the balance between because I still need to keep it look like a hair, not just the white spot. Hi, well check it out.
Yeah, it's looking really good.
Those are the hair. I forgot the reference, but I don't really need to right now. So
This is why you have bad sound, baby.
yeah, I know, but I was covering it from the wind as well because it's like the very strong wind was for a while ago,
Okay.
so I had to cover it. A little bit.
No, but it's looking very good. The details on the is even better in person. But yeah.
Well, it's very satisfying now. It's like just carving those little hairs. My
Just
husband is here.
for future reference, maybe even if you're trying to hide it, it's
Yeah.
a directional mic. So
Yeah.
if like it's
Yeah.
like a gun. If you what you pointing
Yeah.
at is what
No,
it's gonna.
you're correct. I know. Just try to.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm not criticizing. I'm just
Here, I'm kind of creating a little bundle of the hair. It's quite light out, but I need to be careful with making it, look as a stain, right? So my mom and I used to paint. It brings many great memories. Well, Bert, I'm glad to hear that, and I hope you're still painting. And if not, you should do as I did. Just restart it. Just get back to it. It's like a elixir to the soul. It's even better in person, I bet. Yeah, I mean, it's always paintings are always better in person. Let me just turn around a little bit. I'm sorry, but I need to be careful with my shoulder. Sometimes of the hours of painting, having your shoulders, your neck in the same position can hurt a little bit. And I have a training today as well, so I kind of cannot risk it too much. Interesting. Basically, now I'm almost using like a little circuit movements to make sure that his beard looks curly. Basically, now I'm almost
Hey Christian, happy Saturday.
happy Saturday.
It's Christian U6J6L. He's been around forever.
Yeah, that is true. And to take a little break. Anyway, it's time to drink water and look at the questions. Yeah, I've been working on it for a while. The more you work, the more we start to see the definition. Yeah, it's getting there. And I also mentioned that from the body, it's gonna go faster. Yeah, body is bigger. However, the face and the hair and the beard contains more details. You could do restoration work on antique art, get paid lots as well. Or takes patience. With that kind of responsibility, I would probably slow down my natural process, but I'm quite a fast painter. I don't know how to describe that, but I start almost like I go fast, you know? Not like ruining it, but my style of painting is when you do on restoration work, one of my teachers would do that actually from the art school. He did the restoration work, so he did that right in the class, which was quite spectacular. Such a slow, very precise process. So yeah, it takes some extra training for it. But thank you. I mean, yeah, why not? I'm from Georgia, Tbilisi, and currently we're in Vietnam, Nha Trang. The accent is just generic. English was probably Eastern European accent. Yeah.
Yeah, something like.
Just look at it. It's getting there.
How long you been painting for?
This one already gonna be longer
No,
than
I think the question is how long have you been painting?
since I was probably two. It's when I first started doodling with some pencil. Then my parents noticed it. They kind of art is something that they kind of embraced with me. And and then I think from the sixth I was already painting, like drawing better. And from fifth grade they put me into the art school where I learned all the base, like all the academical things, knowledge, and well, basically, I consider yeah, since fifth grade, I really started doing that progressively. Okay, let's keep going. So the mustache part is interesting. This is actually quite light up in the reference. Gradually need a good frame for it. I'll sit with my back. Sorry for that.
The So you didn't get anything deleted. I just double checked now. Obviously, I'm an admin here, so the art will be featured online on the website. I'll put that up right now. Um, it's not uh, fully ready, the whole website yet, but it will be
Well,
within
we're
a short
working on
amount
it.
of time. Yeah. Um, it depends. It can go anywhere from price range. We're talking anywhere from $500 up to $10,000 if it's a really really big piece. We will do a lot of uh, prints or limited edition prints, and then posters, and yeah, merch and everything will be available at some point. Um, the link I just put out up now, redheaddiaries.net, that's just email sign up link, so you get email right away when we put up the when we set up the website, and that is coming fairly rapidly. But
For us, that is quite a learning process too. So it takes some time to really.
Yeah, but we also have boxing training and gym and singing and painting and
A lot of things. Oh, like you like to say, oh, so horrible doing things that you love. Oh my God, being busy with all the things that I love in the beautiful country, being able to go into the rooftop pool place to work and get the coconut $1.
yeah. Jay so asks, yeah, prints and posters should be a bit less than the original painting. What we're thinking about doing is we're gonna do it in three tiers. We will obviously the originals will be the most expensive. Um, they will have a higher price because they take a lot of time. But it depends on the time put into them, the size of it, and and I mean you can also ask for specific custom pieces made, um, and then we can negotiate on the price and that kind of stuff. But that's the, the highest tier. Then you have the middle tier where we have uh, high quality prints that we printed directly on Canva with museum quality that will be in limited edition with signed documents from Diana. And they will also be in what we're thinking is doing the prints as the only size that's the same as the original. And then we'll have posters smaller and maybe even bigger for the cheaper posters, cheaper uh, framed and that kind of stuff. So that's what we're thinking for now. But we're new to this, so we need to take a little bit of time
Yeah,
for
we're
it.
looking at others, researching. We want to make it obviously reasonable, right? And I also see some artists don't sell prints at all. They're like, and I understand that. But to me, I kind of think to myself and actually realize, no, I want to have prints too because I might create just one individual piece. And yes, there's going to be one owner to it. But I want, there are other people who would want to purchase it or can't afford the full piece, but they would like to have a print. So to me, I want to spread my art, whether it's a print or a original painting, as like worldwide as far as
Well,
possible.
that also makes more sense also because you can have high quality prints on canvas at a reasonable price, and
Yeah.
then posters and stuff will be relatively cheap, so the art is everywhere to be seen.
At least with the most of the paintings, there might be some exclusive, something like a grand piece, which might be like only original or something. But that's again, I still think that most of the paintings, and there's going to be a limited edition prints on Canva, posters potentially, that kind of stuff. So it's going to be available for in different price range for different people.
Who is that you're painting? That's Paul Reed.
Paul Reed, he's the Scottish MMA fighter. He used to be. Now he's active. He's coaching others. He's still training. Very inspirational figure. He started his MMA career late, and after some hardships in his life. So he started training, and he set the goal to go pro. A lot of people, for them it was impossible. So he started his career in mid 30s and finished his career with the victory when he was 50 years old. And well, I had the honor to talk to him. He seems to be a wonderful person, very encouraging. He loved the idea of, I suggested to do the collaboration and sent the original painting as a gift to him. The limited edition print's going to be available though. And well, I think his appearance, his look is very interesting. Like a lot of people, even if you're not a Paul Reed fan, I suggest you to look him up. He's a very inspirational guy. But even if you're not Paul Reed either, for a lot of people, it's like a Greek. Roman type of sculpture of very stoic philosopher men, like fighter, warrior, but also a philosopher. So, yeah, I think a lot of people gonna like to have it as a print, and that's one of the reasons.
You have talked about doing a little interview and that kind of stuff with them, right? Like,
Not yet, but I think he's not gonna redo
Yeah,
reviews.
sure.
Like I'll ask him in the right time. It's also a matter of building relationship when you do collaborations like that. I like about it that it's obviously there's a little bit of cross promoting. I didn't actually even ask him yet because I'm looking forward to make a whole good video where we make it on Instagram like a common video. But he already reposted some of the stuff where he's painting without me even asking. So yeah, that's a good thing. But it's also nice to build a relationship. Everyone likes when if someone would paint me, I would love it. I would be like, yeah, sure. Like, definitely, of course, I'm gonna repost it, but I'm also gonna get the piece of art that is unique. There's only one, and it's me, for example, if it's a portrait of me. So people love that's the different. I'm ranting again, but I just wanna make a point that it is always a unique gift and a unique, I would say, respect and appreciation when you create an art of somebody.
uh, she is from Georgia. I am from Norway. So one thing we have been talking about doing is also she will do an entire live with a much less complicated drawing or painting, and do the entire thing um, in a 2-3 hour session. So you see all stages in one long live stream, and there will also be a long form video of that. Um,
Yeah,
where
I
you
like
see
it.
the whole process from A to Z.
Yeah, it's a very cool exercise. Also, when you do like a canvas within just few hours. But it's their techniques. There are different techniques you can styles you can make it in. Like this kind of precise style, it takes layers, and you do it in breaks. Whether some of the art can be very very cool, very authentic, but done just within a single layer with the blend of the paints, and I like that kind of art. So I'm looking forward to again try it myself.
You're welcome, Michael Lara. Who is another anaconda who's talking in between us? Answer, please. I'm her husband.
Well, did he call you anaconda?
Yes.
That was fun.
All in capital letters.
It's like almost reminded me that Patty Pimblett would call everyone this Spanish sausage and mushroom. Like it's like an anaconda. Is it an insult or is it the?
I don't know. It's okay. I'm
No,
not insulted. So
I know
it's not. It's not an insult if you don't get insulted.
of course. I'm still curious. Is it some? My husband calls me smelly little raccoon, trash panda sometimes, but that's definitely not. I don't get offended. Sounds lovely to me.
Hey Chris, when are we hearing you sing? Your wife is talented artist. Yes, she is very talented. I'm not very talented at art and singing and that kind of stuff. I'm better at.
I think you have potential. You just like I tried to teach you. I want to teach you.
Well, I used to do lots of graffiti back in the day, but that was just teenage vandalism.
Also form of art, huh? So you see, yeah, how it's looking.
No, it's just looking really good. I really wish the camera could pick out how much that beard and hair is.
Well, I like that it's not the hyper realism, is it? Because you can come closer and you can see some chaotic strokes, but then you see those like lighter highlights on like the top of it.
Mm.
But at the same time, you like zoom out and look like, wow, okay, that's creates that great effect,
Michael Lara is asking, how many hours do you paint a day? I do 4 hours a day.
Me painting?
Yeah.
Well, depends. Sometimes I take breaks, but yeah,
Well, I mean, right now, I think you
average.
only paint on camera now. Like when you paint, you put it on camera anyway. So
Yeah.
it's actually just see all her lives and you'll see how much she paints. But I would say like maybe 12 to 16 hours a week or so.
Yeah. Probably.
Buff Mommy says, wow.
Wow. No, it's getting a. Let me look at it from the side. Yeah. Well, a little magic trick again. We don't want that to be too mechanic, so I just take and blend some of the spots like this. See, like that. That's it. Maybe a couple on the top. So it's a bit.
Buff Mommy just sent you $5.
Hey, how buff?
Buff Mommy.
Hey, buff mommy. Excellent work. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for the super chat.
Hi, are you looking at a picture and copying it, or how are you doing it?
Yeah, I've been looking at the picture and copying it all this time, and this is first time I'm just going for freestyle because I know where is the highlights. I already know. Like I looked at the picture enough times, but at the same time, it's kind of like yeah. Sometimes in the picture it looks one way, and you're like, yeah, you want to go as accurate, but over obsessing on it, especially when it comes to the hair and certain parts. So as long as I've already put certain things in place. Now I'm kind of improvising a little bit. I know this part was live, like full side, and now I'm just making sure it fits well into the painting.
Also, because this is a real person, Paul Reed MMA, you can check him out. Who's also going to be gifted this picture. Uh, you want it to be as look as much as possible as the subject. So yeah, you were working with the reference picture the entire time. Buff Money says, "What a great gift." Yeah.
I already said that painting is like a it's a different level of respect. Like I hate it when people would ask me, "Oh, draw me, paint me." It's like a lot of my classmates, friends would do that. Well, first of all, because I'm not the artist who just likes to like paint or draw everyone. Like to me, I need to want to do it. That's why I'm sticking to portraits. Yeah, I try to kind of challenge myself in different styles gradually, but it's still mostly portraits, body dynamic. When you do when I do someone that I really admire and respect, and I want to build a good relationship with, that's different. So this is not only a gift. This is my sign of respect and admiration. Um, so yeah,
how many paintings have you made already? Do you sell some? Uh,
it's the second one in life. I mean,
Second one live. You have a few more pictures back
in pencil and charcoal paints, oil paints. I used to do back in school. Colored, by the way. So I'm gonna introduce some colors gradually to my, quite dynamic portraits. But black and white was also because I'm good at graphics, and I just, it's a safe way for me to get used to the oil paints again. But yeah, never been done black and white or oil paints either. So that's quite a new chapter in my life.
um, Do you sell some? I mean, we are going to start selling posters, prints, limited edition stuff, and the originals. Everything will be on redheaddiaries.net. Right now, it's just email sign up link. The website will be ready um, in short amount of time. I'm thinking less than a week. Um,
Yeah.
Every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once we grow up. Picasso. That's from RM6650.
Everyone can create art, in my opinion. Actually, everyone can learn how to do it well as well. The potential is there. The question is of the time commitment. And some people are just so-called naturally talented. They just kind of learn very fast.
Let's be honest, you have a natural gift.
I have a natural gift, and that's what I was saying, that I would learn very fast from the beginning. But I've seen at this point a great artist now.
You are an AI,
Yeah, AI, evil.
autistic intelligence.
Shit. Forgot about that. So now in the darker part, very gentle strokes. I'm not applying new paint. I just try to use it right on the tip to apply very thin hair without killing the dark effect.
Michael Laura says, okay, nice to know. Thank you. Buff mommy, I cannot wait to show you to my daughter. She's a pretty solid artist. She'll love your work and your look. Just fantastic.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, thank you, Buff mommy. She also will be going pro in boxing later this year, and she does several singing engagements every week. Lara said, you are a good artist. Paintings are more harder to do. Yes.
Thank you.
And Bart Clemens says, artistic intelligent. Lol, that was clever. Actually, I said autistic intelligence, but artistic intelligence is actually nicer. So, well, it depends on how you use it. Autism can be a superpower.
Weaponized autism. Team, you have a team MMA nerds, and there's this new guy. He's now signed contract with a karate combat. The guy, he has like weird tattoos, and he's now, I think he's actually diagnosed autistic person. But yeah, that's his brand, that he weaponizes. It's like very very entertaining guy to look at. So well, I more and more look at it that way. I like when I do my first few pro fights, and just get into that. Well, like, that's the thing. To me, boxing almost is like an art. So, I think I'm gonna give that vibe off someone who more tries to paint a camera rather than just brawl and engage into the thing. But to me, I've been in boxing for many years, but since last year, I've really been unlocking by asking the right questions and observing boxing as the whole sport. I started unlocking certain things and gradually practicing and doing excelling at it. That I'm very excited to be able to use that. In the
Matt is in the house. Welcome, Matt. How are you doing, brother?
Hey Matt, it's been a while. Good to see you.
It's not been a while. I think it was here a couple of days ago.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's right. It was once.
Anyway.
Well, Matt's being busy. Like, I mean, everyone, of course. People work. People do their lives.
Pro boxer, so multi-talented. Then, yeah, she's a quadruple threat. Dances, sings, paints, boxes. Well, you also sprint and do a few other things. So it's like
Oh, yeah.
She's not autistic. She's awake. Yes, I'm just joking. This is our love language. She loves being bullied.
Mhm. Well,
Um,
I didn't. I never knew that I loved to be bullied before me.
well, she likes to be bullied by me. Um,
Yeah, you don't want to bully me in front of Grace's enough.
he said you two like to sing also. What do you sing? I'm a musician myself, singer and drummer. That's Bert.
Oh, cool. Well, of drummers, huge respect to drummers. Like being able to play drums is like crazy. Rock singer, actually, I think my favorite genre is rock, like classic rock, Led Zeppelin, Scorpions, Deep Purple. Like I can sing all that. Metallica, like Enter Sandman, a lot of male parts, like male songs, because of my voice um, type. I can sing, and but now more and more, I also delving into like a jazz blues, like a softer stuff. Like more feminine. I have quite a good lower range. You can go quite low and
Yeah, I know it's very cool when you. What's the one song that I really like that you do when you go all crazy on stage and stuff?
Black Dog, Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin, Black Dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. Some people have all the talents, man. I think yes, there's lucky with talents, but also it's about being dedicated to something.
I would add one thing. Have you heard this quote that talented people are talented in everything? Well, if you actually change your perception of everything, if you really start looking at life differently and observe the universe and nature and everything that is surrounded you, it's not like, oh, I'm talented both in singing and art and this. It's like direction where I need to observe and create something. This is where I excel. But look at it. It's painting. It is singing because you need to figure out how to do it. You need to exercise correctly. Boxing is kind of the same process. Well, any other thing that you create with your own hands. So it's rather than just being talented in specific thing. It's having that very specific, developing specific vision about things, and that translates in different fields. Unfortunately, my case doesn't really translate in the math. I never committed to like there is just
You do math when you're like when you're painting.
well exactly as much like geometry and actually do measuring when it comes to like painting, building a portrait. Yes, I can do that.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a question here. So I was segueing into that. Can you please ask her, besides hard work, what does it take to be very good at the craft? Well, this we're gonna make some videos on this, but like for instance, just to start off with, how to treat the camera, for instance, how to put up a grid, so like a schematic, uh, like a blueprint, so you see where everything is supposed to be placed, is important. But you can talk a little bit more about it, maybe.
Well, back to what I just mentioned. Start asking right questions. So you have a. It starts from the point of choosing right materials. And again, the more practice, even for me, I mean, for me, I just took whatever like I thought I would need. But the higher level of artist you become, the more you really choose sometimes very meticulous certain materials of the brush and paint and canva and this and that, right? So it starts from choosing right materials. Then when you choose the composition, you make a grid, you use some measurings. Obviously, you use your natural eye measuring too. But if you actually are more about learning and practicing, don't hesitate. Like make it like almost like a sculpting architecture. So put all the proportions, all lines, measure it with the lines and that kind of stuff. Then gradually you're gonna become obviously more meticulous. Like you can do it just yourself by seeing it.
Well, I think a very good example
Yeah.
is your friend that does the iguan, no, the chameleon pictures and that kind of stuff. He lays out a grid and then he paints almost by numbers.
Yeah, he's like one circle, two circles, three circle. He literally painted with a pencil. He draws. He doesn't paint. He draws with the children's colored pencil. That's quite cool. He makes like hyper realistic animal portraits like chameleon and stuff. That was a great piece. But I've seen him building the process. He was making this big chameleon, and I see that he just builds out that grid, make sure that it's all correct, and then he starts coloring one circle at a time and gradually moving down. So with the pencils, it's even a little slightly different process. Figure out the process and stages. Stop at the time once you finish the grid, for example. Just stop, look at it, which colors you need. So you don't just take, unless it's a freestyle, don't take only like whatever paint you have and just think, no, take your time, choose the right colors, tones that, okay, this you're gonna need for, if it's a portrait, for the skin, for the shadows, and make it warmer, colder. So it's all the time asking right questions before continuing the process. That's where you need to train at. And at that point, your progress is going to be faster. Whether if you just paint and make same old mistakes, I've seen that others doing that in the school. They would, yeah, they would gradually get better, but they would make same mistakes into rather building a portrait, or choosing the wrong colors.
Well, I mean, there's
You know,
lots of techniques. For instance, when you see a painter hold their brush up to the horizon,
yeah.
can you do that physically? Just so that's a measuring technique, right?
Yeah, no, I measure too. And they actually teach you in school how to measure that. You also can measure like right on the camera using the pencil. Um, but all I'm saying is, if you just do the art and you hope that one day you get better, it's like in a boxing. You make the same mistake and you think one day you're gonna get better, but that's not how you get better. You kind of need to step aside, take a moment, and look at what adjustments you need to make, or maybe you need to change the approach on that specific stage. So that type of thinking, that really helps you to grow in pretty much everything you do.
You both have great logic and support for one another. Very cool. Thank
Yeah,
you,
thank you.
Bert.
But that was birth. Thank you.
J Soul thinks I married up. Well, you don't know anything about me, as you don't know, but like, I actually married down. She's like, how tall are you, baby? Like 141. She's a midget, and I'm like, I'm sick.
161 or 5'2".
I'm just joking. Um, let's see here. Will you paint what people want for you to do? Michael R., can you ask that again? Because I didn't think so.
I think he meant, well, rather some people ask, giving me ideas, and I think, well, unfortunately, not all of it. There might be some good ideas that people might give me, but because it takes some time to paint on Canva, like I have my specific vision and plan and style. But if you're asking about commissions, like someone in the chat that never reached out to me, unfortunately, but they were about painting Charles Bronson in this kind of style. That would be cool. Like I would take that commission for a reasonable price. I would take it because that was something that was in the style that I like, and I'll do a lot of black and white portraits. I mean, despite me trying some colors, and I'll do that further down the line. I like black and white, and I'm completely happy to do commissions in the black and white, like similar dynamic, like similar type of portraits.
When I paint, I'm furious
I'm
and
in tears.
obsessed.
Huh?
When I paint, I'm furious and obsessed. The process is beyond me. Says
Well, you
Donovan.
sound like a lot of very, like you sound like Michelangelo, for example. Even though he was like he's known for brilliant sculpting, he also painted the whole the chapel, the Sextis Capella. How you say it in English? The chapel. This is
16 Chapel.
16
Sistine Chapel.
Yeah.
Sistine Chapel.
Yeah. Anyways, the point is he actually at some point he started molding because that was he never did it on the thing. He would paint some canvas and obviously sculpting, but when he accepted as a challenge, and when he would do, and it's quite at that stage, he realized that the mold was doing because he was doing it with the wrong rather materials and technique, and he got furious. But like he's just like started over. So I think Michelangelo was driven with anger. Like he was driven with, and I think a lot of artists are driven with anger, but it's a good way to channel your anger. I think. To me,
Oh,
it's a
definitely.
peaceful process. To me, I'm super peaceful. I don't have any like yeah anger. I would say
No, you're a very neutral person when it comes to that kind of stuff. It's like,
I'm for the peace. I like peace and balance. Well, sometimes I need to fuel myself a little bit, especially in the boxing. That's what I'm looking forward to. Not getting angry. That's not the case, but more like get into a completely beast mode. You know what I mean? Even though my personality is all about craft of the boxing, and I think that's going to be my advantage. But there are times when you need to explode, you need to let your demons out. You know what I mean? I'm very friendly with my demons. I'm in peace with them, so it's hard to like I gotta ask their help sometimes.
um, Liz asks, any relationship that you guys have picked up as highly creative people? I don't know if I'm highly creative. I'm more risk seeking and analytical. And I used to be a professional skydiver and wingsuit base jumper, and uh, did a lot of very, very dangerous stuff. Well, how would you answer that?
About you,
No, I mean,
what was the question again?
any relationship advice that you two have picked up as highly creative people?
Mm, well, you're quite visionary though. Maybe you're not into
Yeah,
argument, but you're visionary.
I like to have a vision of how the future is gonna go. I like to think in. I usually say it like this: is like successful people don't plan for next Saturday, plan for a decade ahead, kind of thing.
Well, and that's well, that visionary approach kind of helped you to learn how to fly as well. That's quite insane. So I don't know. We are also very well. I'll take a little pause. Um, so there is this illusion that not illusion that might work for apply to most of people. So artistic people are very specific and stuff, but uh, in our case, we in a daily life we're quite pragmatic. Like I don't have this. Oh, I need the inspiration. No, I just know I need to do it, and I know that every time I say it, something's good gonna happen. It's just a matter of starting. So we're just quite disciplined in the relationship. We respect each other's boundaries. So like just being artistic, we're not delving into just one or another. We just kind of learned how to put it all together. I don't know if it responds to the question well.
Okay, there's married down. How tall are you? I'm in tears. I answered in the text. I'm 188 or 6'2". Uh, Joshua says your paintings look better than CGI in movies. You rock. Redhead Diaries.
Hey, thank you.
If there is any love left in this world, may you teach your respect for others to the rest. Humility is the last gear. Last gear. I mean, great. I think he means great human trait. You both are beautiful, and I thank you.
Hey, thank you very much for this words.
Will you be posting your boxing maxes as well on as these paintings are on their channel?
Yeah,
Will there be
rather live
shorts and
stream
full?
or
Yeah, like I mean, she already live streams
sparring sessions.
um, live
Training
streams,
sparring.
sparring sessions, and all that kind of stuff. Math, yeah, you. She's done 73 jumps so far in his AFF. So AFF stands for accelerated free fall. Of course, and then it's that's cool, Matt. What are you planning to do in skydiving? Do you want to go wingsuit? Do you want to do a free fly? What do you want to do? Um, Donaldson asks, "Are you naturally tuned to bravery, great heights?" I'm actually very afraid of heights. I don't like heights at all, and that's what I did. That's why I started jumping because I didn't like something external to have control over me. Um, it's also I'm not gonna go on a long tangent about this, but like when you jump off mountains, you're afraid before you jump, but after you jump, you can't be afraid. So your brain just turns everything up, like concentration and everything turns up to um, an extreme. You have a people think it's all about the adrenaline and all that kind of stuff, and it's like it's actually more about the quiet. And when I say the quiet, I mean when you're flying, sometimes a few meters away from the cliff, nothing exists except that moment. You don't have a shitty ex-girlfriend, you don't have money problems, you don't remember how you embarrassed yourself, a few weeks ago, got drunk at a party or something like that. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Bert says, I grew up studying music, painting, martial arts, respect, and loving God. This live stream is refreshing. So you love all the same things that we love. It's amazing. Great.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's great.
Danton says, overcoming fear. It's not about overcoming fear, it's about embracing it. It's about like, even though I have a couple of thousand jumps in total, every time you stand at the edge of a cliff, I would physically shake, and I would kind of have to force myself to jump.
But
But it's
imagine, sorry for interrupting, but imagine the self. I just thought about it because in the base jumping, it's not just like from the plane you just jump in the free space. You literally should. You must not make a mistake. A lot of those people crash right into the like when they jump off this. So imagine being every time start shaking inside, but having developing such a strong self control that you do that successfully, and then once you start flying and enter the zone and then open the parachute, that's like the rest. But the jumping moment that you know that one mistake and it can be over, that is like this is the stoicism, like that's the representation of stoic state of mind. Sorry, I just praise my husband now because I just thought about it that way. It's like it's mind blowing.
yeah. If you want to see her boxing and stuff, tons of she has tons of boxing content on the channel. Lots of shorts. Um, live stream of the karaoke she does, and the painting and stuff, obviously. So yeah. I haven't even thought about using a wingsuit yet. You need more experience for that. Yeah, you need about 200 jumps before you can safely put on a wingsuit out of an airplane. One thing I would say though is like in something like skydiving, um, a skydive is 60 seconds of free fall, and then everything is under parachute. If you think about that, it's like when you have 100 skydives, you have 100 minutes of free fall time, which is in any other thing. If you say that you have 100 minutes of experience of something, that's kind of nothing. Like that's less than 2 hours. So um, I would say, Matt, if like not right now, but if you specialize in one thing, you're going to become a lot better at that one thing. And that can be an advantage to reduce risk and all that kind of stuff. I'm not lecturing on how to do it, but like I'm not a very good free flyer, for instance, but I'm very good on the wingsuit, and I'm good at tandems and and belly flying. So you don't have to do everything, but yeah. Let's see.
That was a good great advice. brush to apply. Instead of just using darker strokes, I'm using only white right now. I'm gonna blend it where it's needed, but that's one of the techniques. You can just create an effect of some lighter hairs, but way less on the darker parts than on the lighter. That's gonna create quite a nice realistic transition.
And Matt, if you're interested at all, if you click on my profile, I do actually have 4 or 5 wingsuit base jump videos up. Uh, at times, I assure myself I don't need every experience because I indeed uh, will live forever. It's Donaton. At times, I assure myself that I don't need every experience because I will indeed live forever. Yeah, that's a good philosophy. That beard is looking Santa Claus-ish. It's good.
Oh, yeah, Phil has Santa Claus-ish ears. I'm gonna blend in a little bit.
And yes, Razor D, it is the Sistine Chapel. I don't know if I said the 16th Chapel. I may have corrected it, but yeah, you're right. Chat, feel free to ask any questions or bring any comments or whatever you feel like. Donatan says, pretty badass painting. I must give props.
Thank you. Step aside. Okay. Now we're gonna take this brush.
What's that brush called again?
Umbrella, I think, with butterflies. And some we blend in a little bit some of those. Especially sometimes you want to create a nice transition, so you blend right on the top.
That's amazing talent. Your shading skills are fire, fire emoji. So your skills are fire.
Thank you.
I watched this a month ago and the face was merely a shell from what I remember. Great
Oh,
depth.
thank you. Well, that's cool. Actually, someone who watched it like in the beginning, saying it in the beginning, and now can witness the different progress. So that's quite cool.
Punch 45 is like, how the hey can anyone do this? I'm imagining he meant hell, but okay. I think it's a fair bit of talent, but also patience and training and skills and
Understanding of the process. As I said, when you want to learn how to paint or want to learn how to basically excel at everything you do, there are obvious nuances to different fields, but don't waste your time on just doing it just for the doing. Unless you want to do art therapy and just abstract for your field, yes. But if you really want to become good at art, you need to figure out the process. It's like learning the language. Every polyglot, they first figure out the structure of the language.
a poly who, a poly what?
Polyglot.
Yes, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
A poly who, a poly what?
Mm. Yeah, but if you think about it, polyglots, people who know a lot of languages, they say themselves first they understand the structure of the language. Once they do that, then everything else is the building up process, right? So same here, you need to focus on that as the main thing, main priority, and then everything else is gonna get easier around it. Just go aside one more time.
Bert asks, how do you guys feel about those who just splatter paints on their canvas and think their painting is a masterpiece?
It depends because well, you have an artist who just splatter their paint on the canvas and they start building it. They usually do it within one layer, but then the result is quite spectacular. Yeah, it's a more abstract style, but there's this one guy who paints New York streets and like he paints the city views, and he just that's what he does. He just splashes the well, basically wastes a lot of paint, but that's his style. That's his paints. He's right. Well, the result is quite spectacular. So that guy has the vision and he knows how to build the process and he does it well. So in that style, he has that style where he's very good at. But there are people obviously who just splash the colors. There is kind of um, when some artists do that, some of them have a very good color. Um, like they see a lot of colors. They see which colors go well together. So I cannot feel it as completely a neglection. No, if those kind of pieces become a good art decor, why not? They have the right. What I don't like is that kind of modern art. Not the ones that are quite interesting and cool and involve some physics, but more like the banana stick to the wall and the Malevich cube. Yes, they kind of bring it's just a marketing. They build up this idea and hype and
Yeah, there's artists
stand
that put the urinal in a.
yeah, like that kind of nonsense. Let me tell you, they are great marketers. That's the art of marketing, but that's not the art of the art, right? So yeah, there are some things I definitely look skeptically. However, there are some styles again. They splash the paintings, but then they end up with something spectacular. So that takes the skill. Um, like artists also who can paint, they start doodling, and then essentially they turn around the picture and it's a portrait like of someone real. Some now I'm adding a little bit of darker strokes too, so it doesn't come to so right in between some of the lighter ones. Not too much. I can do that a little bit, just here and there, especially on the when it transits into the darker areas.
Donatan says, art to me is eliciting a response. You make the art for yourself first, afterwards you take in the reactions.
Yeah. There is also a concept of how art makes you feel and others. So you might create something that might not be as skillful, but it has an emotion. You know, that is kind of the important part of the art as well. However, there is like in professional sports, you have just sports. You know that everyone can do football. Everyone can play football. It's like a big game. Everyone loves it, except us. But that doesn't make you an elite best football player or like even competitive, right? Same with the art. Like there are some artists that are just self-proclaimed artists. They have emotions. They love what they're doing, and it make even others feel in a certain way. And there is a skill that is the whole another level. It's the process of building. It's the combination of a pragmatic approach to an artistic vision. So, well, I guess I made my point already. So,
So Donson said, I would just like to thank you both for making an honest stream. Corny as it may seem, you're an anomaly, and that's a compliment.
thank
I'm truly impressed and even slightly moved.
thank you very much. And
That's very nice.
then what was the last? Slightly moved.
Slightly moved.
Well, that's I to me that is the most important. When I see people saying that oh they started training and actually being consistent, or they started there was someone who got back to painting after me seeing my live stream of like pastel painting. Well, that's the main thing. I want you to. We all need to get moved sometimes by others, and we kind of keep passing that torch on. So preserve those emotions and those feelings, and just you know what to do with your life.
This comedy writes itself though. Thank you very much for the nice statement, Donovan. But after that one, you know what the next comment is?
What?
Legs.
Man.
This is the internet.
Oh,
Like this is a deep and eloquently put
welcome to
statement.
the internet. It's like the check out the what is the Bo? He's a very cool musician. I think he's off the internet actually now, but he has a YouTube channel. Check out the song "Welcome to the Internet." That it's just gonna describe it best.
They say you paint the picture as you fight and express yourself differently from the next in the cage.
Um,
Um, so the artistic vision would be the submission or the martial art for the martial artist.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I can. Well, I look at it that way too. To me, at this point of the life, I do boxing, of course. So to me, it's more of the boxing practice, but more and more this process becomes an artistic process rather than just training and brutal violence. Maybe it's a too girly of approach. I don't know, but what makes the difference between someone like Lomachenko and Arturo Gatti? Arturo Gatti was gladiator. Like he committed himself to the like. He's one of the boxers who literally gave his life to the boxing, and came from the not the best origins. And then you have Lomachenko, whose father sent him to national Ukrainian dances for 2 years, so he could excel it and bring it to the level of art rather than just just fighting.
So Garik says, "Beautiful. Can I order it to Russia?" Well, you can answer that one.
Well, this one is it's a gift to Paul Reed himself, so the print's going to be available. You're going to be able to purchase that, guys. We'll announce it very soon. In Russia, well, I think from Vietnam, it's going to be possible to purchase it to Russia. We're also gonna, well, with prints, it's the force wall gonna the company that's gonna make that, it's gonna take care of it. But with the regional paintings, we'll have to actually figure out what was the best and most reliable postal like post company here in Vietnam, covering like internationally. But it's not a big deal. People create art all over the world and send it to the other side of the globe. So I don't think it should be a problem. Don't you think, babe?
Yeah. Yes, expression is different for everyone. Like you say, like volume, some like to move, some like to drown the others in the fight.
Yeah, exactly. There is a place for all of them because people are different personalities, right? And martial arts that really, like, you can see that. That's why fighters are different, right? Boxers are different because of the certain types of personalities that are focusing rather on technique, defense, footwork, or a power, or they become hybrid. I'm honestly excited about being as fluent as possible, just by being able to adapt to whatever situation it is. But it's a long process, like with learning how to paint.
We are in the Trong, Vietnam. You look fit. Have you arm wrestled? Please share your best arm wrestling story. Well, I know for a fact she doesn't do that. She's a boxer. So
Boys grade when before boys hit puberty, I won the I'm wrestling
see,
class tournament against all the boys except one who was like 180 in the height already at that time.
he was probably on cycle.
Mm, as Bibi, definitely on cycle.
Can you do an arm flex?
Back flex.
Okay, Andre, you can fuck right off. Bye bye.
No one can bully me except my husband.
You all may not understand the misery and that is indebted and innuated in YouTube live streams. I dig in sometimes. The rage against life is still alive. Is still life. We who are not emotionally attached balance here, make the balance happen. From Jonathan.
That's, I guess that's true. People need to get back to living real lives and will have kind of a little bit limited access to the social media by their own choice, just develop discipline. even for us, we just try to stay off of it, off the live streams, and like there are many times. There's some days I take off completely because I just need to be in the real present world, right?
Yeah. You're doing well today. It's just below 30,000 views now. That's pretty good. I think.
Oh, wait, you want to go after what time is it? Oh, we have around 3 hours. I shall suggest what we can do. Let's go somewhere closer to the gym, and we can sit, get a computer, work on the thing, and we can just hop into the gym straight away. How do you like it now?
Oh, it's looking nice. Drag the camera so people can see all the amazing details. Hunter says, awesome video. Thanks for the good vibes. And you guys, I had a great day. I'm glad to hear. We're having a great day too.
We
Where
see
are you, by the way?
little dot, and all of a sudden the light eyes became alive. Even though in the picture it does not seem like that, but just a tiny little bleak dot. And look at this; it's like changes.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's great.
We do the same on the. There, that's a little bit too much. That's okay. Down.
Looks like my father-in-law.
Is your father-in-law Corey? Maybe. You never know.
Wow, the details in the painting is so good. Says math. And yes, your level of detail here is very, very good.
Thank you. Yeah, but that's the thing. I didn't do much on the eyes. I had the black and stuff, and it wasn't that alive. And off the blueprints that I used as original picture, where the eyes are quite dark, I just used a single, like little dot of white on same side of the both eyes, the eyeballs, and all of a sudden it looks alive. Like the look is more, yeah.
Good morning, London.
Good morning. Wow, it's actually like now I start liking it too. I mean, I always see that, okay, we'll go in the right direction, but you know what I mean? There's like certain stage when you look at it, it's like, wow, okay, that's actually good. Not just the layers, not just the like this side. I want to work more on with very subtle, smaller strokes, so you can feel that there's here, but it's not too white, not too light. So they're gonna create a better transition effect. Okay.
The hair and beard looks real.
Thanks to those effects, you know. It's all about applying the right technique, choosing the right technique that works for it, and applying that.
Endless asks, you don't box now? Well, she is going to
Later today.
sparring session later today. In about what, 4 hours, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons I kind of got to wrap it up now,
3 hours and
so we have enough time to move on.
it's 3 hours and 38 minutes away. And you're still going to be working on your southpaw stance today,
Yeah,
yeah?
yeah, I'm going full southpaw. I practice certain things, and I'm gonna more do even more like dancing, like freestyle footwork. At least at times, when it's needed, and try to increase the volume of the punches, so we're really going. And I'll ask my sparring partners if I can go harder on the stomach at least, so just really because I spar very light, I really do, and it doesn't matter that I'm a girl. I know that I'm not gonna really hurt, especially a little bit bigger guys. But I think it's about respect. When you even if it's even if you're a big weight, a big guy, and some annoying thing in front of you tries to go, it's like you cannot punch them properly, but you kind of needs to work on. But that it can get annoying. So
You can just lay on top of them, it works.
yeah, I know. But like the point is when it's kind of mutual sparring, so it's not a certain tasks, but you both go like in freestyle. I think it's not about punching hard. It's about that reflex, getting comfortable into manipulating the whole process, including defense and offense. But that you can get used to that too much. Yeah, there are boxes like Loma would not punch hard a lot of times. He would just arm you with a lot of punches, but then he would go one, two, like exactly in the right moment and right with the right timing. So all of that would be set up. So that's why I need to practice more of that volume, lighter punches, and then catch one, go to stomach, head, all of that from the southpaw stance. Obviously, also working on the basic southpaw stuff, which is setting up left cross to the stomach, left cross to the head. This is like the basics, and that really works. That simple thing works very well against orthodox boxers. And yeah, just do enjoy it.
Jonathan comments, ridiculously good. Camera angle shows the depth, nice verse, work, solid stream, respect.
Thank you very much.
Bert says respect is key in every situation. We agree.
That's true. Completely concur. Well, I think for today at least, for now, I might be done. Just a couple more little details.
Girl, you have talents.
Thank you very much. Let's take a moment and thank my husband, my manager, my promoter, my basically the person who helped me to set it up the way that I can do all these things. Did I say sponsor? Patience and self-respect are key. Yeah, that's true. I'm very tempted to take a picture of the face and send it to Paul.
Then do that.
Then I'll do that. Yeah, I was saying like, oh, I'm surprised. Yeah, but maybe I should do that. Yeah, why not?
If he's not busy choking anyone, he probably looks at your streams every now and then.
Well, now I think it's quite early in the UK. I do believe he looks at the stuff. But it's another thing when you get the picture, you know what I mean?
Is that Gordon Ryan? No, this is Paul Reed MMA.
Well, speaking of Gordon Ryan, I think he retired. That's the one of the most prominent BJJ folks.
Ryan Gordon? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
he's
I just saw.
recognized. I think no, he's recognized. I think as being one of the, like, if not the best
The best.
grappler of all time.
Well, that's what I'm saying because I think I saw the post about him kind
But he's
of.
also juicy as hell. Like, he's on everything. He threw the kitchen sink at it. No, it's crazy to see him on cycle and off cycle. It's wild. Well, no, it's not supposedly. They talk about it. It's not illegal in BJJ. So,
Yeah, it's not.
well, if you look at Mike Musumeci and Gordon Ryan, they're the same age. They don't even look like the same species, let alone age. And that I'm not knocking Gordon Ryan for doing it. Everyone else in um, in the sport is doing it, and yeah, it doesn't diminish the amount of time and effort and he's
Yes,
put into it and
steroids.
skills it.
Steroids don't build the skill. It builds just the capacity, the recovery, the
Well,
physicality, and
that's the biggest part of it is the ability to recover, so you can
yeah,
train more. Um,
yeah. And those things obviously help to build the skill. But for skill building, it's a pattern building, and that's actually even in boxing. Why I don't like ego sparrings. You don't really build a skill there, especially lately. The evolve the development I've went through and I'm going through. So from each and every sparring, because we do technical sparrings, I pick something new. I take a new element and I start reintegrating gradually, like some angle cuts, some like some guard manipulation. Now it's a southpaw, and that's how it kind of gets progressive. And yeah, then you need, as I said, sometimes you need a little bit harder pressure without even punching head. Pretty much, you can go body, like body shot, shoulders harder, just to kind of not give up on that too much. Uh, the Tony Jeffries is a great former boxer. He has a YouTube channel. He talks about those things. If you don't believe me, you can listen to Professional and talking. I like him because he talks about health in the sport and that kind of stuff. So.
McFly Ninja says, "Not me." I'm assuming you're talking about you don't do steroids. Well, I'm not. I'm not saying that everyone in BJJ does, but in the organizations where they don't test for it, everyone is aware that they are doing it. Kate is here, proud bestie.
Oh, hi Kate. Yeah, Kate is one of my best friends, and she's in Georgia. You're Georgian as well. But yeah, it looks good, huh?
Looks great.
Already looks like. I mean, you can always set up some of
Here,
the.
take the.
Yeah, I'll take it. Just 1 second. I'm not too much of the detail freak when it comes to all this and that, but sometimes I'm like I see that one spot and stuff.
But yeah, take the camera
Yeah.
and show the things you want to show.
Okay. Well, tell me your opinion. What do you think about from this angle? You can see directly. I'll show you the first blood too. Well, you see the difference into the painting style. This one is way more thick and messy strokes, and I love that kind of art style. I love like grainy, messy, but then you zoom out and it gives that extra depth. But this one is more like a sculpture, so it's like rather a sculpting process.
The strokes and transitions are more gentle. The hair strokes are specifically done so it looks pretty much real. So even though both are black and white here, it's basically different, two different approaches. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. Uh, okay, well,
I just want to have one comment on like when we're talking about
Yeah.
steroids and that kind of stuff. I think when we're talking about Gordon Ryan and that kind of stuff, I think that if everyone is aware that you're doing steroids, if you're fighting, and people are aware of it, that's fair. When it's not fair is when you're lying about it, and I mean, you could potentially really hurt someone in a fight, and we know that steroids give you such a big edge in fighting or in multiple sports.
well, it's also organization's responsibility. Higher level organizations obviously try to get more into controlling that, so people don't get too much, too juiced up.
Bert says those are amazing, absolutely amazing. So cool, you did two completely different approaches. You nailed it. Great job.
Thank you. It's very encouraging. It helps. So, yeah.
LA woman says "Che bella donna," which means what a beautiful woman.
Oh, thank you. Second.
She smells good too.
Smell good too. Yeah, I'm thinking to send it to Paul Reed. Yeah, I'll send this detail. The face is pretty much done. There again, I might polish it a little bit more, but you see now the texture is
But
pretty much done.
let's get a close up here of what Chanel did to your hair.
No,
I'm just joking around, but her
It's
hair,
mine,
her
not
very good friend, but also the one person here that
she
can
was gone
color her
back
hair.
home to South Africa for 2 months, and as you see, I'm
It
I'm
turned
at the
into the
risk.
Brown Roots
I'm at the
Diaries.
yes, I'm at the risk of stopping Redhead and turning like brown roots diaries. Time to slow hands a little bit. So that's basically that's the most simple thing that I'm keep going. I will keep doing at my sparring since I do southpaw and I'm not a natural southpaw. I'll try to loosen up my jab more and get it moving. But for the practicality, I'll do more of the posting jabs just to set it up, keep the shoulder up and slightly. Well, as much as the right side against the right side, I don't like that position because then to throw the right cross still it's too far off the range, at least for me. But in the southpaw, it's a little bit different because against the orthodox, you have that you just get closer to them, you outstep them, and you have that very great angle to very easy with that left cross to the stomach, to the head. So that's what I'm gonna work today on the sparring position. Let's hope they're out sparring for the test. It should be. I anticipate that a lot of guys are waiting for that day. People like sparring sessions. They're waiting for the Saturday. Do it. Okay. Well, I think let's wrap it up, babe. What do you think? We need some stuff to look like we need to do things.
Yeah, whenever you feel like this is, you're happy with the
I
stream
think
and
I'm
everything.
happy. Yeah. Yeah. I'm ready to get moving.
Okay, well then we say we're wrapping. Yes, Emma's right on. We are wrapping it up right now. Anything you want to say to end the stream?
Have a good day. Good night. Like I usually say, depending where you're from. Around the
Matt
world.
saying have fun sparring.
Thank you.
We will.
Yeah.
Are you gonna live stream that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna
So
help me
yeah,
with
yeah,
that,
that's
you're gonna help me.
yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So everyone join us in like 2 hours and 20 minutes. No,
No, no,
3 hours. 3 hours and 20 minutes. There's gonna be
Yeah, I'll schedule it right now so you'll be able to see exact time.
Bert says, I'm glad I stumbled across this. It was a joy. You two are great. Thank you very much, Bert.
Thank you, Bert.
We you have all the same passions as us. So yeah. Um, but yeah, that's it. Wave